guys, welcome back to 6 p.m. Kickboxing. My name's Alexa if you haven't been here before, and if you have, then welcome back. Let's take our nice neutral wide stance. We've got our toes pointed forward, knees pointed forward, our spine, our hips are tucked, spine is nice and neutral in our lower back, and let's start rolling our shoulders back. Breathing in through the nose, down on the diaphragm and out through the mouth. Really thinking about bringing our shoulders up towards our ears and then dropping them down. We're tucking our shoulder blades down into our back pockets if we had back pockets. Thinking about that nice soft knee. Let's do one more here, rolling back, and let's pause in mountain pose here. You should have your palms out and at your sides, and you can feel that you have a nice big space between your ears and your shoulders, where chest is nice and open, and those shoulder blades are down and back. We want to try to maintain this space here. Let's actually, thinking about that space, roll out our neck, dropping ear to our shoulder. Other side when you're ready. If you want to deepen this stretch, you can hang on to your opposite arm. The arm opposite the ear that's being dropped to the shoulder. And you should feel this right through here. One more time each side. Still keeping up that breathing. This is a really good time to be thinking about that rhythmic breathing. Again, we're breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Let's do some chest openers. So again, that nice wide stance. You should feel like you're stancing, not standing. It should feel like work. So you should feel your abs, you should feel your glutes and your legs. So palms facing the ground. And let's start practicing that exhaling back as we strike back with these elbows. You should feel that same sort of open chest when we're all the way back here. And we should be squeezing into a nice tight fist. So again, that's curling our fingers in on themselves and our thumb comes across to point towards the pinky. We always strike with these front two knuckles, never any other knuckles. We don't want to be striking with other knuckles. It's a good way to bust your hands up. Let's do some helicopters. Try to think about that pivot. So if you can see my feet, or maybe if I move forward onto the red, I'm not sure how the contrast is since I'm wearing all black, but you want to feel that heel turning out and keeping it nice and low to the ground. Am I still in frame? Good. Nice and low to the ground. We don't want to bring our heel up because then all my weight is over here and it's easy to push or pull over, or it would be easy for me to fall over on my own. Let's do some high knees. I like to do my palm to knee, or rather I bring my hands up by my chest and knee my palms. Again, breathing. I want to think about that breathing. You should start to feel your lower abs here. A little bit of the side glute. Our legs should be engaged, our standing legs, so that we have a nice soft knee. Seat kicks. And try to keep that foot flexed so we have our heel exposed. We're thinking about bringing our heel up to our seat. Again, we want to have that nice neutral spine, tucked hips. We don't want to be out here and have this curved shape in our spine. If you're having a hard time feeling that, you can really think about squeezing your glutes forward and then kind of letting go. And you should kind of feel the difference there in your lower back. Let's do some chambering up through the middle, opening up. We'll do 5 to the outside, 5 to the inside, and then we'll switch legs. So opening up, trying to keep that nice soft knee. When you're ready, other side. You can touch down in between these. You don't have to go for balance, but you can if you like. can also practice holding your guard up if that helps. All right, and let's finish off with kicks for stretch. We'll do 5 to the front, 5 to the side, and 5 to the back. Always looking behind us before we throw a kick back. You can again touch down in between or not touch down. I like to keep my foot flexed on these, again, just to get that engagement through the core. And when we're to the side and the back, to the glute. When you're done with that, take a minute or so, stretch out anything else tight or sore to you. Grab a drink if you need it. Find a spot. And we'll get right into it. Okay. Let's start off on the ground actually today. Let's just start off with some abs. Let's do crunchy frogs or double crunches, whatever you want to call them. If this is too challenging, you can always rest your hands here and just do the light part, or if you just need a break, that can be your break. If you want an added challenge, you can clap under your legs. It takes a little more lower ab to clap under. Let's do 10 more here. Keep breathing, and let's roll it over. We'll do some push-ups, just a little bit, and we'll do some back work too, because we could all probably use it since we're sitting a lot right now. So push-ups, either from your hands or from your knuckles. I'm gonna go from my knuckles because I have chronic wrist pain. If you don't, you can go from your hands. Just make sure that your elbows are not coming out to the sides unless you're doing a different kind of push-up where they're supposed to do that. Otherwise, just regular push-ups. Through your feet from your knees. Feel free to adjust if it's not feeling right. If you're doing knuckle push-ups, you should still feel them. Feel those front 2 knuckles, just like we do when we punch. Ten more seconds. And coming down, we're gonna do swimmers. Try to look down if you can. We don't wanna be crunching our neck up like this. And we're gonna go into cobra lat pullbacks in now for the last few seconds. Just to get our back nice and warmed up. Reaching and pulling. All right. And from here, let's stay on the ground and let's do some wine glasses. So, I'm not sure which way it's going to be easier for you guys to see me, but I'm going to face this way this time just to spice it up. And from all knees on, we're going to be on all fours, and we're going to bring that leg up. You want to feel this in your glute. Flex that heel. We're pressing the heel up into the ceiling. We'll be at 30 seconds each activity. Flex that foot. Try not to collapse your lower back. 5 seconds here. 2, 1. Legs straight out and just pulses. Again, keep that heel exposed. Flex that foot. It's okay if your toe turns out a little bit. Sometimes I find that if my lower back is collapsing a little bit, just walking my hands forward a little bit helps me to lengthen my torso and keep that lower back a little more neutral. 3, 2, 1. We're gonna do mule kicks. Bringing that knee up towards our chest, kicking back just like you're stomping with your heel. exhale with every kick. This is just like our back kicks. 2 and 1, and we're gonna go for those roundhouse or fire hydrants, or if you want that challenge, you can do roundhouse kicks. I like to take it in pieces if you're gonna do the whole kick, because I find that works the side glute a little bit better. Otherwise, just bringing that leg up like a dog with a fire hydrant. Less than 10 seconds. 1. All right. Well, let's do the other side. So I'm going to turn this way this time, and then I'll turn back for the roundhouse kicks. All right, heel flexed, leg up, neutral, lower back. And by that, I mean don't let this happen. We don't want to collapse our back. You should feel this in your core a little bit as well, helping to keep you stable, keeping your spine nice and straight. Flexing that foot and adjusting as needed. 5 seconds here. 3, 2, 1. Straight out and pulses. Again, try to keep that foot flexed. If you want a little more of a challenge, try to make your pulses higher. And these should be small movements, just pulses. We're not doing like a big swooping movement. 10 seconds here. Our glutes are going to be nice and warm after this. 3, 2, 1. Mule kicks. Normally we would look behind us. If we were doing a real back kick, we would. Squeeze at the top. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. That's where you should be squeezing. Keep breathing. 10 seconds on this one, and then we switch to our fire hydrants or fire hydrant with a roundhouse kick. 2, 1. Oh. Either just the fire hydrant or the full thing. And the reason I'm taking it slow, I think I said this before, is because if you just do this, you're not really getting the work in your glute. It's more just your obliques. And we want to feel this in our glutes. If you have a mirror, this would be a good exercise to use it for, so you can check your form. 2, 1. And let's sit back on that, do a child's pose. To one side, I kind of like to sit up into it. So it's not really so much a child's pose anymore, but if you lean on that glute, you'll feel it kind of stretching out. All right. Now our glutes are all warm, our abs, our arms are back. Let's do some striking. So left leg forward, right leg back. Again, nice tight fists that match our guard matches our stance. Nice soft knees. We want to feel like we're stancing, so we want to feel like we're doing leg work here, not just standing. Let's do a jab cross, a hook, and an uppercut, and then we'll switch 3 times. Jab, cross, hook, uppercut. Switch 3 times. Exhaling with every strike. Another way to think of this, if that's a lot for you, is to the nose, to the nose, to the temple, to the chin. And you don't have to do the 3 switches if your neighbors will be annoyed by the noise of you jumping up and down on your floor. Just make it a switch. Once you start feeling warm, really start thinking about putting those hips into it. And from the side. You can play with 1, 2. Or you can do a little pause after the hook. Now I'll switch to this side so I can see my timer. Just a couple more. Let's do 2 more on each side. One more. All right. Let's grab a drink. And back out. Or I guess you're probably already out. Left leg forward, right leg back. Let's take the same combination, and we're gonna add a duck into it. So let's do a couple ducks on each side. Remember, we're turning our chest towards our back leg. We're gonna sit back like we're doing a little squat, and we're going to come up around. So we're turning and then coming up and around through the center. So turning up through the center. Other side, turning back like a little squat, coming up through the center. Turning back, keep my guard forward, and back up through the center. All right, let's put this in. We'll have a jab, a cross, a hook. Oh, look at that. It turns us towards our back leg. And let's come up for that uppercut. So imagine you're hitting them in the nose, a hook. They come in for a strike. We dodge it. We just want to move our head out of the space that it was in. So just enough to get our head out of the way, and then we rise up with that uppercut through the center. Switching sides every time. Jab, cross, hook, duck, uppercut. Switch. Jab, cross, hook, duck, uppercut. Feel free to take this in pieces. If you want to do the jab, cross, think about it. Hook, duck, into your uppercut. And switch 3 times if you want that challenge. I'm going to do this from the side so you can see it a few times there, and then we'll switch it up. You really want to feel your glutes. This is a lot like a squat. Try to bring that guard back around after you punch. Let's do 2 more on each side. I think that was 2 more, maybe not. Let's do 1 more. Each side, just to drive it home. All right, so now that our glutes are all nice and warmed up, let's do some knees. Left leg forward, right leg back, and a nice strong guard, tight fist, always. Let's start off with a knee off the back, grabbing our opponent by the hair, ears, shirt, shoulders, whatever, grabbing onto them, bringing our knee up into their face, or chest, or gut. And let's do a roundhouse elbow, rising, rising. So we're hitting that nice sharp part, and let's do a little shuffle back if you have room. Otherwise, you can just land it back, roundhouse elbow, rising, rising, switch. So either knee forward, roundhouse elbow, sharp part is our striking surface, coming around to the sides of the head of the body, and rising up through the center, probably to like the sternum. And shuffle back, or just land back. Round, round, rising, rising. Knee off the back, round, round, rising, rising. Round, round, rising, rising. Round, round, rising, rising. Really thinking about using those glutes to scoop that elbow right up into your opponent's guts. Shuffle back. Knee. Round, round, rising, rising. Knee. Round, round, rising, rising. Round, round, rising, rising. Round, round, rising, rising. I'll do a couple from the side. Let's do 2 more each side. Knee off the back, round, round, rising, rising. Knee off the back, round, round, rising, rising. One more each side. All right, let's do a quick ab set. Let's do some squirmies. Heels down on the ground, shoulder blades up if you want to challenge. We're going to be thinking about touching our heels, so bring them as close as you need to be able to touch. We don't want to like reach with our arms. If anything, you want to keep your arms in place and just use your core to be turning close enough to touch the inside of your heel or the outside if the inside is a little too far. Try to look up and not crunching your neck forward. 10 more. All right, let's roll it back over and we'll do 5 to 10 push-ups, whatever's within your ability. And again, if you can't do push-ups, substitute for something else. I'm gonna do 5 because again, wrist pain. If you're feeling pain, never push it. I'm not feeling pain right now, but push-ups tend to do it. Which is why if you have weights, that's a really good option. Okay, let's do a little bit more with these elbows and knees. This time, let's do one off the front, one off the back. So again, it's just gonna be same motion, but this time we're putting our weight on our back foot, bringing that knee up and bringing our opponent's face or whatever down onto our knee. If you feel like you're gonna fall over, touch down, and then bring your knee up. One off the front, one off the back. Let's do dropping, dropping. So this time we're hitting with that blunt part behind the point of our elbow. Off the front, off the back, dropping, dropping. You should feel your lower abs for this. Dropping, dropping. It's like we're sinking right down. We're dropping all of our weight onto them, right behind that elbow. Front, back, dropping, dropping. Front, back, dropping, dropping. Dropping, dropping. And again, if you really don't have room, off the front, keep it in place, off the back, land it back, dropping, dropping, and then just switch. Off the front, off the back, land it in place, dropping, dropping. And that shuffle, if you have room for it. So if you have room for the shuffle, it's off the front, off the back, land it forward. I'm gonna turn to the side, let's do 2 more each side. I think this is the last one. All right, grab a quick drink. We're gonna do a quick little burnout before we call it a day. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. We're gonna do some knees for speed. So if you've been watching my videos, you've done this before. We're gonna do 30 seconds each side. If you need a breather, take a little break and jump back in as soon as you can. Try to think about really breathing in through the nose for 2 counts, out for 2 counts on this one. Starting now, off the right. You can go as fast or as slow as you need. If you like, you could practice doing 2 without touching down. I'm not going to, but you can if you want that challenge. 5 seconds here. You're almost done. See, this is easy. You're crushing it. And switch sides. Left leg, or the leg that you weren't doing. Pulling They're face down onto your knee. Breathing in for 2, out for 2. You should feel your lower abs. You should feel your side glute a little bit. 5 seconds. All right. Shake it out. Breathe in through the nose. Out through the mouth. Breathing up. This is like a Tai Chi thing. We imagine splashing water on our face as we breathe in and pushing 2 trees apart as we breathe out. All right. Let's do some chest openers. Staying nice and tall so that we can catch our breath and our lungs have room to expand. Let's roll our arms back a few times. Let this motion come from your shoulders and not your elbows. I see that sometimes. Forward a few times. Let's do a side stretch. Inhaling up. Exhaling over. Other side, inhaling up. Exhaling over. Make sure that arm is over your ear, not in front of your face. You're not going to get a good stretch that way. One more time each side. Man, I don't know about you guys, but Mondays are hard for me. I don't do much on the weekends. Feel very sluggish coming in on a Monday. But starting the week off right, so. All right. And we're going to do a little bit of a more intense leg stretch today. I'm going to put my right leg out first, and I'm going to lean into it. So I want my knee to either be over my ankle or behind it. Whatever you need to do to get a good stretch. Try not to let your lower back collapse. You want to feel this stretch through the front here, through your hip flexor region. I like to lean on my front knee to deepen this stretch. I wanted to get a better leg stretch today because I know a lot of us are sitting at home and it's not good for our leg muscles, our glute muscles, our back muscles. So we want to maintain those. Use it or lose it. Let's bring that elbow down if you can. If you can't, no worries. I'm going to scooch back a little bit to make sure I'm in frame since my cameraman is otherwise occupied. So if you can, try to bring that elbow down and try to keep that leg nice and close to you. You'll see it when we go to the other side. Let's bring that arm up. This is a difficult stretch for me, but putting your hand wherever you need to keep your balance. And let's rock it back. So this is the final one. So this is something I've been trying to do relatively every day. You want to sit back on this one. You should feel this in your hamstring. Pull those toes back if you really want to feel a stretch. It's good for tight hamstrings from sitting all day, not doing as much walking as most of us are probably used to. Let's switch sides and finish off over here. So bring that leg forward as much as you need to feel that stretch through, mainly through your hip flexor, a little bit through the top of the head of the quad. And just lean forward. I feel like I'm about to be knighted. Still breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, because it's good practice. Mindful breathing, always useful. Let's bring that elbow down if you can. And really trying, I'm gonna show you guys what I mean by trying to keep your knee close to you. For me, my leg wants to splay out because I'm very flexible this way. So I really try to use those muscles to try to keep that knee close to my body so that I'm getting a good stretch, keeping those hips square as best you can. If you can always hang on to your leg so that it can't splay out like that, but it's up to you. Putting that hand wherever you need it, arm up, turning towards the ceiling. And let's rock it back. So you should really feel this in your hamstring. You can kind of play with it a little bit, play with your positioning, how far back you sit your hips. It's up to you. But really pulling those toes back is really gonna help you feel that hamstring. And I don't know about you guys, but my hamstrings are very, very tight, especially right now, but in general as well, so. All right, let's get back up and finish off with one big deep breath because it just feels right. Feels like normal. So nice neutral position and breathing in. Let's side like I always do. And let's shake out our arms. Roll our shoulders back a few times. And keeping a nice soft knee. When you're ready, let's shake our head no in a nice big movement. We're gonna nod our head yes in a nice big movement. And let's tuck our tail. We're gonna breathe in. Rolling up one vertebrae at a time. Rising up, full body stretch. Breathing in. And release. Awesome work, you guys. Thanks for showing up. Check us out at 6 p.m. on Wednesday.